What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a product review yet again, and if you guys haven't seen any of my other product review videos, I recommend that you check them out. There's just a few of them, but if you guys like the way these videos are formatted, I am 100% down to make any other product review videos. If there's something that you guys have been thinking about buying but you just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because you want to see a little bit of a, before you buy type of thing, put a comment down below, and more than likely I'll probably buy it because I have an addiction to fishing and I love buying stuff like this, and I'll make a video about it just for you guys. So put a comment down below and let me know. But today we're going to be doing a product review on the Shimano Curado DC. This guy here, it's the Shimano Curado DC, and this one is actually the HG. What that means is it's a little bit different gear ratio. The standard gear ratio on a Shimano Curado DC, I want to say, is like 6:1, and this one, if you guys can see that, it's the 151 HG. The HG, what that is it means the gear ratio, I want to say it's like 7:4:1 or something like that, and the standard Shimano Curado DC is a 6:2:1, I think. Don't quote me 100%, but what that means, and if you guys are unfamiliar with baitcasters, what that means is a 6:2:1 reel is going to reel in slower than a 7:4:1 reel. Okay, so with my understanding of this one is it reels a little bit faster than your standard Shimano Curado DC, and it's kind of just the middle of the road, because there is another one, and I want to say it's the Shimano Curado DC like XG or something like that, and what that one does is it reels even faster. So if you guys are wanting to, pull crankbaits or something like that, that might be something for you to look at. But for this, I thought that it was kind of just an all-around, best bet for me, because if I want to reel faster, I don't have to reel as fast, but if I want to slow down, it's a lot easier for me to slow down than speed up. That was my thought process when I bought it. So we'll see how it goes. I've had this for a couple of months now, and I've used it a handful of times, not a bunch, but I think now I'm kind of able to give you guys my best opinion of what I think about it, because there's been a lot of hype over the years on the Shimano Curado DC, and I just haven't really followed the hype. I haven't got one yet. I've used some Abu Garcias and some other reels, some Baitcasters and stuff like that. This is actually my first Shimano Baitcaster ever. I've used some spinning reels and that kind of thing in Shimano, but never a Baitcaster. So we're gonna hit the water and we're going to show you guys some fish, and you guys can just kind of see what you think. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and we're going to go from there. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be on the water in just a second. All right, here we go. Let's get this guy going here. So, to start us off, guys, I'm going to be throwing this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go from a heavier bait to the lightest bait possible. Okay, I have this Whopper Plopper here. It's a topwater, but it's a pretty heavy guy there. We're gonna throw that first, and then here's what else we have. I got this topwater frog, probably middle of the road in heaviness. It's pretty light, but it does have a weight in there, so not super heavy. But I want to show you guys how this casts with every kind of bait you can think of. The only thing I'm not going to throw is a crankbait, just because this lake is super weedy. It would be a mess. And then we are just going to go with the old Texas rig and some plastics. I'm probably going to throw this weight on first and then the hook. I'm probably going to go with a weight first and then without a weight, just to kind of see the difference. It's really, really windy out here, so I'm not sure how that's going to go with completely weightless. But here's what we're going to be throwing. We're either going to go with the Yamasenko, just, traditional worm, or I got some, some craw baits there too. Both pretty light, probably about the same, but you guys will kind of be able to see the difference there. But let's get to it. We're going to start with this Whopper Plopper. We're going to start with the first cast here and see how it goes. Way out there, dang. All right, so if you guys could hear that little buzz, that's normal. The Shimano Curado DC does that every single time you cast. You always hear that little whine. Personally, I love it. I love the noise. I think it's kind of satisfying when I hear it. You know, some people don't like it. I really do. I think it's satisfying and all that kind of stuff. So don't be alarmed if you do have a Shimano Curado DC. It will make that noise. So just keep that in mind. If you guys don't like that, you know, maybe that's something that you can think about before you buy it too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast this guy out here, okay? And I'm not going to touch the spool with my thumb at all, just so you guys can see what happens. Now, to kind of explain why I'm going to do that, the Shimano Curado DC, when you hear that whine, there's actually a braking system in this reel. Now, what that means is it's very, it makes it a lot harder. It makes it a lot harder to bird's nest this thing, okay? So if you guys have used Baitcasters in the past, you know that sometimes you get a big old mess. Well, it seems, to me anyways, that it's a lot harder to do so with that braking system. So I'm going to show you guys what happens when I don't put my thumb on it. I'll do it a couple times for you. Nothing, right? Now, obviously, that's with a heavier bait, and that's pretty typical with a heavier bait. You know, you might get a little bit less of backlash there, but pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me, to get no backlash on a, you know, on a Baitcaster like that. So I'll do it one more time once I get this thing in here, just so you guys can see it again. And then we might switch over to another bait. But if you guys see the cast out here, it goes pretty far. I'm going to really rip on it this time to cast it as hard as I can, just so you guys can see. Ready? I even gave it a grunt. There we go. No bird's nest, okay? I maybe tapped my thumb on it, but barely. It didn't really make a difference. Just out of habit, honestly. So pretty cool. I mean, I'd say that was probably a, I don't know how far of a cast that was. I mean, it's way out there. I mean, I'm retrieving it at a, you know, pretty standard pace, and it, you know, it's way out there. So we're probably gonna throw on the topwater frog next, just so you guys can see how that casts. But all in all, you know, my expectations have been, really, they've been exceeded with this reel. I can't say anything better about it right now. It just works flawlessly. I haven't had any issues with it. I want to show you guys the difference between a heavy bait, you know, and a really light one, just so you guys can see what could happen, what might happen. And just so you guys know, I think I have about 15-pound braid on this reel right now. I'm a big fan of braid for bass fishing, just because, you know, I think you get a little bit extra, you know, a little bit extra power there. And you don't have to really worry about breaking off as much, in my opinion. Now, if I'm walleye fishing or something like that, typically I still run like a braid, but then I run like a, you know, fluorocarbon leader or something like that. But not for bass fishing. Unless the water's super clear, then I might switch over to a, you know, fluorocarbon or mono or something like that. But for now, it's braid. So I'm going to get this guy tied on, and then we'll do another couple casts for you guys. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're switching over to the topwater frog. I'll show you guys what we got on one more time. Right there, bam. We're going to give her a few casts so you guys can see what the result is, okay? Here we go. Again, didn't even have to touch the spool, and no bird's nest, no backlash, nothing. Gosh, I'm really hoping we can snag something out of here anyways. But all in all, guys, I love this reel. Now, there's a few other settings I should show you guys. There's really only one setting on the Shimano Curado, and that's right here. Okay, and I believe this spool, what it does, it's a little dial, adjusts that the stiffness of not the stiffness. I don't know exactly what the word is, but it sets how loose your spool is when you cast, for pretty much. I guess that's what it does. You know, if you want it a little bit tighter to avoid those backlashes, you can probably turn that up, or you can turn it down, and you can probably cast a little farther if you're more experienced. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. Don't quote me 100%, guys. I don't claim to be a professional fisherman. I am far from that. I just really like fishing. But there's different options for it. So you can play around with that and do with it what you will. I have it on 1, and I want to say it goes to like, I don't know, 5, something like that. I just have it set on 1. I've messed around with it. I kind of like with 1 the best. I think it gets me the most range in my cast, which maybe that's just me in my head. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's pretty good. I'd probably start with it at, on the higher setting for you guys, and then just work your way down and see what you think. The only other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about too is how experienced you are with baitcasters. If you've never bought one before, I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on whether or not this should be your first baitcaster or not. I think it might get you a little bit spoiled in the baitcasting world. It might be, it might be a good idea just to buy something else first, just so you get the hang of a regular baitcaster. Because if you were to switch over from using this guy to something else, it could be more difficult for you. I won't lie. It's made me spoiled using it. Whoa, that's on the dock. It's made me spoiled using it because you don't really have to worry about those birchmans, which is really, really nice. So, like I said, I'm a little conflicted because this would be a great reel to start out on if you've never used a baitcaster before. I think it would, I think you would love it. I don't think you'd have any problems with it, right? If you've never used one before. But my only thing is I think it could maybe cause problems down the road, but nothing too serious. If you guys are looking at this reel and this is in your budget, by all means, I say go for it. I love it. I can't think of a better one. If you guys haven't seen my product review of my Abu Garcia Veritas, I'll link that up in the top here so you guys can check that out as well. If you're looking for a combo setup, that was a rod and a reel. So that was both of them, and you can get both of that for pretty close to the price of this, which is very, very reasonable. This, you have to buy just the reel and then a rod as well. I bought the Mojo Bass. I want to say this is a St. Croix, just like a medium heavy power rod. I think it's like a 7-1 or something like that. I'm not doing a review on that in this video, just because I really wanted to focus on this reel. But as you guys can see, that was the top water. We're going to switch over to the Texas rig with Yamasenko worm. We're going to give her some casts up to the dock here and see if we can hook up on a big one. So here we go. Here we are. All right, another rip. We might be hooked up. Let's see. Oh yeah. There we go. That's a fish. Let's go. Oh, it's good. Let's go. Come on. Get him up. Oh, it's not super. Oh, no. We tried flipping him and he got off. Dang it. No. It wasn't too big. It was probably like a half pounder or something like that. But nonetheless, super exciting. Man, I can't believe I screwed that up.
A few moments later.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're done fishing. We gave it our best go for the night, okay? We did have that one hooked on. We weren't really expecting to catch a fish, but I hope you guys got a little bit better understanding of the Shimano Curado DC, and if you're thinking about buying one, my final thoughts on the Shimano Curado DC is you should definitely get one, okay? If it's within your budget and you're looking for a, higher end baitcaster, you should definitely look into it. It is top of the line in my opinion. I don't think it gets a whole lot better than that one right there. I'm sure there are better ones, and I know there are, but if you guys are your average fisherman like me, I think you should definitely look into it. It is a little bit pricey, and there's probably cheaper options that'll do the same thing, but if that's what you're looking to spend, you should definitely look at the Shimano Curado DC, okay? It is very nice. It's very smooth. I love the braking system. It kind of takes your worry off if you're, casting something light. You don't have to worry about backlashes all the time. But anyways, if you guys loved the video, which I hope you all did, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, because we have a lot more fishing content coming. And like I said, if you guys want me to do a product review on any other fishing gear, within reason, I'm not going to go out and spend thousands of dollars, but if there's another reel that you're thinking about, buying or something like that you want me to review for you, I'll probably buy it, Chances are I will. I love buying new fishing gear, or even just a simple, certain bait or something like that. I'll even do that. I'm open to it. So let me know what you guys want. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.